You know, is the voice of Dominican Boxing in the building. You know, every Dominican boxer you could think of, I've interviewed. The one you thinking of right now, you right there watching that camera, the one you thinking of, I've interviewed him. Yes, go Google it. It's interviewed. It's there. I like him. Maybe it's because he's not scoring knockouts, but I think he's definitely one of the top 5 pound for pound.
I don't have him even top 7 or 8 pound for pound.
Yeah,
but it's
you don't know nothing about boxing. I mean, but that's why you have me on the podcast.
You know very well. You know very well. I know more about boxing than you. But what I'm saying, no. You're gonna start to know now. You're gonna learn now. But listen, my thing is,
what's your top 5? Hold on. What's your top 5?
Well, 3 of your top 5, Inoue, Usyk, and Canelo, are in my top 5. So okay. I agree with that. I got Bud in my top 5 as well. I got Bud in my top 5. You can't tell me Bud doesn't deserve to be in the top 5.
No, he doesn't.
And Spence is in my top 5 as well.
He doesn't either.
So let me ask you a question. How can you have Bivol in your top 5 and not Bud? Bud has gone through 3 weight classes, was undisputed. Bivol hasn't even beat the best person in his own weight class. Welcome back to another episode of Van Stale. Thank you all for viewing and subscribing. If you haven't yet, please subscribe. The best is yet to come. Man, this is going to be a fun one. Our guest today from Brooklyn, the voice of Dominican boxing, we have Broadway Joel.
Ooh, Dominicano, que lo que?
They are in the house.
You already know. Thank you so much. You know, is the voice of Dominican boxing in the building. You know, every Dominican boxer you could think of, I've interviewed. The one you thinking of right now, you right there watching that camera, the one you thinking of, I've interviewed him. Yes, go Google it. It's interviewed. It's there. What's going on, fellas?
And the YouTube page is Broadway Joel.
Yeah,
so if y'all want to see some Dominican interviews, Broadway Joel.
Yeah, I want to say like 90% of the people I interview are Dominican. Not only, you know, I've interviewed other people, like, you know, I interviewed Michael Fox, Tevin Farmer, you know, Kenny Porter, Kenneth Sims. You know, I've interviewed, you know, other people as well, but mostly Dominican boxing is what I cover for sure. And I came out here. I knew I was gonna be on a podcast. I was like, yo, what's the most Miami thing I could wear? I went in my closet. I was like, yo, this looks so Miami. I haven't worn this shirt. I don't know. I was like, I'm gonna wear this, man. I'm Miami Joel today. I'm not even Broadway Joel.
We thought you were gonna come with a fucking suit and shit.
Yeah. We seen you on the Boxing Boys with the suit on. So I was like, hey. But you did come Miami. You know, you got the short sleeve button down with the pineapples.
You got the chancletas on or what?
Nah.
That's too much.
Nah.
Oh shit! What's up, man? How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to be out here in Miami. This is like by far outside of my own city, like my favorite city to come visit. I love it here. I'm out here for the World Baseball Classic, DR versus PR. I'm gonna be there tomorrow. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Give me a prediction.
Oh, DR all the way. We winning.
What's the score?
We're gonna win 7-4.
Okay.
If you hit that 7-4, bro, I'm
gonna call you back.
I'm gonna clip this and send it to you, bro.
For sure.
So yeah, man, hey, I appreciate you for speaking so well about my city because we both feel the same about New York City, Brooklyn, New York. So
shout
out to Brooklyn.
Shout out to BK all day. Yeah, for sure, man.
For sure, man. So you saw the fights from this weekend?
I did. Tony Harrison. I honestly, I was surprised how people. One, how Steve Farhood was scoring the fight and how people on Twitter were scoring the fight. I thought Tony was doing good up until a certain point where he started to fade. And but he was pumping that jab, you know, just pumping that jab, hard jab. And I felt like Tim Tszyu wasn't being as active. I don't even understand why people were giving him those rounds. You know, he ended up getting a stoppage anyway, so it really didn't matter. But the judges saw the fight the same way I did. They saw it a little bit closer. I felt like Tim Tszyu, as the fight was going on, was pulling away. But I felt like I thought Tony won 3 out of the first 4 rounds. Most people, like, I'll be honest, I know I'm in the minority because I was interacting with people on Twitter. But I felt like people weren't giving Tony that credit for that jab. I felt like he did a good job.
Well, Tony was controlling the pace with that jab.
Yeah, and Tszyu wasn't active.
Mm-mm. Nah, I mean, he was trying to bring the pressure, but nah, Tony was controlling with that stick. But what happens when Charlo gets in there with him?
And Charlo knock his ass out, man. Charlo is undisputed for a reason. Every single belt he got by knockout. He knocked out Jason Rosario, he knocked out Castaño, he knocked out Tony Harrison. Like he's now working with hold on, with my Dominican brother, Joan Guzman is an assistant trainer, and if y'all know boxing, y'all know Joan Guzman back in his day was one of the like most skilled fighters. So, and it's funny. There's even a Instagram clip of Joan Guzman having him work out of the clinch and throw the left hook, and so I think it's on Joan Guzman's Instagram clip. So you see them working on it. And then they showed a clip where he got the knockout with Castaño, and it's the exact same move. They're kind of in that clinch, and he just kind of just throws that left hook. Boom, and he scores the knockout. So it looks like Joan Guzman is adding a lot to his his repertoire. And I'm a fan of Jamel. I'm not a fan of Jamal, but we'll get to that in a bit.
What do you think about that knockout with the Dominican Rosario to the stomach, that jab? Like, what do you think about that? You think that was
you know what's funny is like if you rewatch that fight, people misremember how that fight went. Rosario was doing good. He was walking Charlo down. He got dropped. I want to say it was in the first round, but then continued to just walk Charlo down, and had Charlo very uncomfortable in that fight. Very uncomfortable. And if y'all don't believe me, go rewatch the fight. And then up like the round before that knockout, I think Charlo drops Rosario again. So he gets dropped right at the end of the round. And he's hurt. Because the knockdown in the first round, I dropped, but he wasn't hurt. That knockdown, he was hurt. And then the other round comes in. He's still hurt from that knockdown. So then he gets hit to the body, and he gets stopped. But I think he was more hurt from the second knockdown than it was the body shot. I think the body shot was kind of like the cherry on top.
I think, and don't take this as disrespect, he's Dominican, but I think I agree with that. He was hurt from those previous knockdowns, but I think that was just his way out. That stick to the body. I mean, I've been in the ring many times. That stick to the body is no. For the way he acted from it, no. I think that was just his way out. You know, his fight. The fight.
You think it didn't hurt him? You think he was just
I mean, yeah, it could. No. There's sticks to the body. It'll take your wind out. But for you not to get up or nothing, and that's it.
He went out the easy way.
I think that was his little ticket out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say that that's like an unfair take. Like I'm not. But what I will say is, if you see how hurt he was from the previous knockdown in the last round, and you add that, it could be like he's hurt. He did get hurt to the body. He goes, you know what? Maybe I don't know. I'm not in somebody's body.
We don't know.
But I think he was more hurt from that second knockdown than that third one.
Did you talk to him after the fight? Did you interview him?
I have interviewed him. And another thing, I'm glad you circled back to that. So he wasn't taking his sport as serious as he should. That honestly, one of my favorite interviews I've done is with Jason Rosario. Jason Rosario told me he blew up to 197 pounds. And he walked into the Charlo camp at 197 pounds. So he was cutting weight from there to make 154.
Yeah.
So you get what I'm saying? So it could be that weight cut, it prevented him from getting hit to the body. And then you see in his fight against Lubin, he gets knocked out to the body. You see in his fight against Brian Mendoza, he got dropped to the body. He got knocked out.
Yeah, he got dropped to the body before that, right.
So it could be that just those weight cuts have prevented him from getting hit to the body as well. So that's why I hesitate to call him a quitter, just because. Because you got to put two and two together. One, he's continued to get knocked out to the body.
Right.
He's continued to get dropped to the body, and then again, you add that where he got hurt pretty bad in that previous round. So I'm not gonna call nobody a quitter. Like, I'm not going to call him a quitter based off, like, everything I know. Again, you went into the training camp at 197 pounds, and then he went into the Lubin fight at 203 pounds. And I asked him, like, yo, what was going on? He's like, yo, he kept it honest. He was, I was drinking, I was with women, I was eating, I was doing this.
That money.
Nah, he was keeping it real, man. Like, that's one of my favorite interviews just because it was raw and rugged. He kept it honest. He kept it, like, he told me everything. So
it's official though, right? He's like retiring, right?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's only like 27, 28.
He's still young, man. He has a long way to go. He can take 2 years off, recuperate. Yeah, his mind
I
off
don't
things.
know, bro.
No?
Like, boxing is one of those sports. Once it's out of you, it's out of you, bro.
He's really talented, though.
Yeah, I mean,
he is, man.
Like you said, it's either you're in a hunt or you're not in at all, right?
Sure.
But I mean, if he gets some time off, he retires, and then comes back with the right mind, he can make a comeback because he's young.
We'll see. I mean, hey, like as of right now, he has a fighter. He's actually managing a fighter who I've also interviewed. His name is Leonard Sanchez.
Okay.
I actually gave him his nickname. I had him on I interviewed him, and I was like, "Yo, what's your nickname?" And he's like, "I don't got one." I was like, "El Sazon Sanchez." He's
Oh,
like,
perfect.
that shit's hot. That shit right.
He's like, "No, me gusta, me gusta." I was like, "All right." So he's managing this one kid. Maybe he goes that route. Maybe he contributes to boxing as a manager. But we'll see. You never know. You never know. Look, George Foreman, and I'm not comparing his success to George Foreman.
Yeah.
George Foreman took 8-9 years off and then came back and became heavyweight champion
In
again.
his late 40s.
So I'm not gonna dismiss it, but
He lives in DR, right?
yeah,
He was here in Florida for a while because I've seen him
in
spar a
Florida.
bunch of times here.
he was in Florida.
Him being in DR, la mujer, como tú dices, you feel me? That's a big distraction, dog,
Yeah, listen, it's easy for us to judge, but think of you going back to Dominican Republic
With money.
with the most beautiful women in the world, and you the 154 unified champion with hundreds of $1,000s in the bank account. It's easy for us to say from the couch, "Oh, you're an idiot for not being focused in this."
Facts.
But it's like, bro, you weren't in that position, so I try my best not to judge. I mean, I'm not gonna say I don't, but I try my best not to.
Facts. No, I feel you. I mean, but the truth is that when you got 6 figures in the bank from a fight, you got to have your mind right. That's why you can't be going to DR or to Miami. You got to stay right. You got but hey, man, since we spoke about Charlo, bro, a few months ago, you sent me some bullshit ass. Nah, I'm messing with y'all, but there was 2 names in your top 5 pound for pound list, and you had Charlo at number 5. Explain that to me.
Again,
Besides the fact that he's undisputed.
I mean, he got every win by knockout.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? And honestly, my pound for pound list.
It changes.
Yeah,
It's
it
always
changes. So,
facts. Everybody's.
Right now, I probably wouldn't put him. I don't know. Because Bivol, I'm really high on Bivol. And I don't know if he.
You did.
I did. Yo,
Number 3, right? He had a number 3.
I feel like Bivol's underrated. I'm like, yo, his resume, you look at, he beat Canelo. He beat Zurdo. He beat Pascal. He beat Joe Smith. Like, yo, his resume is lit.
Yeah.
And the fact that he fights at 175, and maybe that's not a fancy weight class, and he may not have the big flashy names with the exception of Canelo, and people want to give him credit because he fought a 68-pounder. I'm like, yo, this dude is nice, and he's dominant in his wins. Like, he wins his fights clean. I like him. Maybe it's because he's not scoring knockouts, but I think he's definitely one of the top 5 pound for pound fighters.
I don't have him even top 7 or 8 pound for pound.
Yeah,
but it's
you don't know nothing about boxing. I mean, but that's why you haven't me on the podcast.
You know very well I know more about boxing than you. But what I'm saying you're gonna start to know now. You're gonna learn now. But listen, my thing is
what's your top 5? Hold on, what's your top 5?
Well, 3 of your top 5, Inoue, Usyk, and Canelo are in my top 5. So okay. I agree with that. I got Bud in my top 5 as well. You can't tell me Bud doesn't deserve to be in the top 5.
No, he doesn't.
And Spence is in my top 5 as well.
He doesn't either.
So let me ask you a question. How can you have Bivol in your top 5 and not Bud? Bud has gone through 3 weight classes, was undisputed. Bivol hasn't even beat the best person in his own weight class.
Well, he can't beat himself, so he's the best person in the weight class.
Well, but when it comes to the belts, Better Be If right now is number 1.
Wait a minute.
3 belts out of 4.
Hold on. Weren't you just telling me that Jermell, why is he in my top 5 and don't talk about undisputed?
But Jermell has been in one weight class his whole career. He's been in one weight class his whole career. And who has he beat?
Better Beef.
I'm not talking about. I'm talking about Bud. I'm talking about Crawford. You said Crawford can't be on it.
So the belts matter when the argument benefits you, but when it benefits me, it doesn't.
No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is Bivol has 1 belt, has been in that win weight class, and beat a Canelo that's not even a 68-pounder like you say. He's really a 60-pounder, but that's not the point. The point is you said Bud.
He was undisputed at 60.
That's okay. That's fine. But you said Bud doesn't deserve to be in the top 5 when he's been to 3 weight classes, champion in all 3, undisputed at 140. Well, how can you say Bud doesn't deserve top 5 at all? How can you even say that?
And also, Charlo's very inactive too, so you gotta play that into.
No, it's not even about that. Charlo's undisputed though.
I don't have Bud or Spence in my top 5
because they haven't fought each other
until they fight each other. Okay. They're not in my top 1,000.
Sure, but Bivol and Better Be If haven't fought each other, so it's like how can they?
And they shouldn't be getting the hype, dog, because everybody's talking about this fight and it doesn't even get made. Fuck
Yo,
it,
like,
it doesn't even talk about them until
man,
the fight gets made.
Spence Crawford?
No,
Oh yeah, facts.
No,
Fuck
and
that.
not only
Fuck
that, and not only that, yo, you look through their resumes, it's not as deep as like people make it out to be. They're the most popular fighters because they fighting in the 147 division, a glamour division, and they're getting all this hype. Who's the next Mayweather, whatever, who's the next guy? Maybe that's what it is. But honestly, you look at their resume, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's like, it's a good resume.
Yeah.
You look at who they beat and you line it up with other fighters, like, nah. And again, until they fight each other, they going for my pound for pound list.
Okay.
They may watch this and go, I don't care about being this pound for pound list. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You don't care, that's cool. This is so they both don't deserve to be on.
I mean, pound for pound lists are opinions.
Yeah,
That's fact.
there you
That's
go.
the
So
fact of it.
that's why I don't have them on.
100%. I understand. I mean, I don't got no problem with it. I'm just saying.
No, you obviously did.
No, I have a problem when you're saying he don't deserve it at all. But Bevo does.
Cause to me, first of all, to me, if you line up Bivol's wins and Bud's wins, who's better? Give me his best 5 wins. Give me Bud's best 5 wins.
He's beat Sean Porter. He's beat Kell Brook. He's beat a bunch of great fighters. He beat Sean Porter, Kell Brook.
Kell Brook.
What's this guy's name, dog?
Hey, no. Kell Brook is great. What are you talking about? He had his orbital bones.
Both orbital bones
by
broken.
Triple G and by Spence.
And
that's fine.
And moved down in weight to make that fight.
To make what fight? To make with Crawford?
Yeah.
But he was a 47 pounder. He was a 47 his whole career before that. His whole career, he was a 47 pounder, moved up to 54.
Yeah, and he had him fought in that
middleweight.
division in fucking 4 years.
Yeah, but you seen the way. But you have to also understand this, Joel.
I don't understand how is that a win where you like, oh shit, he beat Kell Brook. All right, that's respectable.
Well, Kell Brook is Kell Brook.
Yeah.
You don't just say Kell Brook is nothing. Kell Brook is Kell Brook.
At that point,
Kell Brook was beating Spence. In his fight until he started getting dropped and whatnot. But he was beating Spence. Kell Brook
how long
is
ago was
solid.
that?
What the hell does that have to do with anything? Kell Brook is still a solid fighter.
I mean,
well, he hasn't lost since until not Bud.
Postal was a good fight too.
Postal
was a good fight.
That was a good fight. That was a legit fight.
There you go.
Postal.
Okay, that's it, right? That's it. Those
He beat
two.
your boy Felix Diaz, didn't he?
And who's Felix Diaz?
Gold medalist. Oh, bro, you disrespecting these guys.
He wasn't even a world champion.
Don't matter. He was an Olympic gold medalist.
See,
man.
you see how you
gold
doing
medalist.
mental gymnastics to show me how good of a resume he's got. Yo, the resume.
You're the one talking about. You're the one saying Bevo has a better resume. When he doesn't.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
He doesn't. The only thing he has great in his resume is that he beat the pound for pound little great. That's the only thing he got well in his resume.
The little great that was champion before at 175, right?
Bro, for real, he pulled a Mayweather. He went to a weight class where somebody was washed and he beat him.
What was the name of the guy? What was the name?
Kovalev. He beat Kovalev for the belt of 75.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like
So hold on. So Kovalev was washed, but Kell Brook wasn't?
he wasn't. He wasn't. He hadn't lost no fight in years. It had been many years since he had lost a fight. His last loss was to Spence many years ago, like you said. So nah, bro. I mean, point is, that don't even matter.
In between that?
Huh?
Who he beat in between that?
Well, you know he's from the UK. He fought his UK guys, beat all the UK guys.
Nah, but Kell Brook was legit.
Kell Brook was
that wasn't a legit win.
And he beat the shit out of Sean Porter. That's another
you talk about
win.
stuff that happened in 2014, like, bro.
But you're talking about Kell Brook like he's nothing. I mean, he's not
at
nothing.
That
He's
point,
a solid fighter.
At that point in his career, that win is not something where I was like, damn.
This guy too solid.
Yeah, that guy. I can't even say his name, but he's a very, very good fighter.
He's
No, you know who he is, Kavalauskas.
Yeah,
he's a very, very good fighter. He's a good little fighter.
All right, man.
Now that we're in the topic, though, who do you got? Errol Spence or Crawford?
I got Spence winning that.
Ooh, it's my boy right here, dog.
I mean, that doesn't matter. I think Spence is great. I mean, I've always told you this. I think Bud is gonna stop him.
Why do you think Spence wins? And how does he do it?
I think Bud's slow start, he gives up a lot of rounds, and
It's gonna be his
The
downfall.
first 3 years, he's inactive. That's facts.
no, and he gets hit. He gets hit a lot, and then Spence is actually a fast starter, so the styles match better. Also, he's bigger. He's a 40. He was pro debut at 47. Or like, you get what I'm saying?
Yeah. He's naturally the bigger man.
Yeah. And I just feel like he'll be breaking Bud down, and by the time Bud starts turning up,
It'll be too late.
it's gonna be too late, and I got Spence winning the decision.
But always heats up in the third or fourth. It's not like he's like fucking 10 rounds inactive. In the third or fourth, he starts picking it up.
I don't think it's that early, but you know, I look at that fight where once the 7th or 8th round happens, that's when he's gonna start turning up, and it's just gonna be too late. And then
we'll see.
He'll win like probably 8-4.
Now, what I do agree with Nelson said is that, man, that fight is not even happening yet, so it's not something I want to give too much clout to.
That's why they're not in my top 5.
They don't deserve that spotlight right now. But I want to ask you somebody that you do have in your top 5. You actually put him in number 1, in fact. Inoue. Yeah, I love Inoue.
He's the best fighter in the world.
I just feel like you said earlier, it's not a fancy weight class. You said that about, I forgot who was it, 175 Bivol.
Yeah.
It's not a fancy weight class, man. It's not.
Yeah.
Are you good? Are you waking up at 4 a.m. to watch the fight?
In Japan?
I am.
Me too.
Well, I'm not. I'm not.
No, that's fine. And but you know this, and I don't mean this disrespectfully. There's some people that are covering the sport at a more detailed manner. There's some people that are like hardcores, super hardcores. I feel like there's factions of fans. I feel like there's the casual, the casual hardcore. There's the hardcore, the super hardcore. Then there's super duper hardcore. So. I listen, you look at Inoue's resume, and just because you don't know the names, don't mean that they're not good. And especially you look at how he's finishing these guys.
He's stopping all of them.
Yo, he went in that tournament, knocked out Maloney in 1, Payano in 1, Rodriguez in 2, and then dominates and drops Donaire in a decision,
and then
rematches him in the second round. Like, he's dominating. These are not competitive fights he's in. He was undisputed 3-weight division champ. Moves up to his 4th division, and he skipped the division, by the way, on his come up. Moves up to his 4th division, and now he's taking on the number 1 guy in Stephen Fulton, fighting for a unified belt.
Now that's a good fight. That's a good fight that I would actually watch.
I'm sorry for talking about the little guys. Now I don't want to forget about these guys because I might forget. We were saying 75 was, not known like that. But, man, let's give our respects to 68, Caleb Plant and Benavidez throwing down, bro. That's something. That's a fight that I wanted to see, need, and they made it. So that respect to those two guys for making a fight that boxing needs.
Yeah, you know who's on the undercard? Rayo and Chris Colbert.
Yeah. Why isn't Edwin Valenzuela in that?
No. I just want to say that they both coming off L's to Dominican. I just wanted that to be all, dominant losses too. Not like, oh shit, I don't know who won.
100%.
Dominant.
Hector Garcia, man, outpointed him, and then we had freaking Edwin, man, with the upset, bro.
I'm gonna keep it a bug. When he was walking into the ring, yo, who's this cat? I didn't know who it was.
He was like, who the heck is that?
Let me tell you.
Nobody really knew who he was.
Let me tell y'all a story about that situation.
You know we had him here, right?
I saw that.
Cool cat. Shout out to Edwin.
Yeah, he's cool.
Shout out to Edwin De Los Santos.
And Erison Garcia.
De Los Santos.
I mean, Edwin De Los Santos, bro. He stopped the shit out of him, bro.
Yeah. So like I had seen him fight once when he lost to Foster, where he gassed out and he looked bad. I was like, damn, man, like I don't know. And then he fought like 2 months later, and he knocked some dude out with 1 shot. So I saw a horrible performance and a fantastic performance from him. So I don't know, like, what to do. So I called Hector Luis Garcia. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Talk to me about this guy. No, he's a good guy. Blah, blah. He can crack. He got a lot of power, All right. I call Elvis Rodriguez. He tells me pretty much the same thing. I call Michelle Rivera. Tells me pretty much the same thing. I call Carlos Adames. Carlos Adames is like, what? That's one of the best fighters we got. That's what he can punch. He can do this. He can do that. He goes, the only thing is, like he needs to work on his conditioning. But there was like, he's fighting Rayo. I was like, yeah, like the fight set. He goes, sell your house, sell your car, sell everything you own and bet everything on De Los Santos by knockout.
Did you do it?
Come on. Let me finish the story. So I'm like, damn, like, I get, he's like, yo, bro, he goes, he's going to knock this guy out. You can't fight like aggressive like that on De Los Santos like that. He'll knock you out. And he goes, I don't know if he's in shape, but if he's in shape, I got him winning by first round knockout. I was like, damn.
Like that shit.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to put some money on it. So I bet like $50. I think I ended up winning like probably like $350 or $250 on it.
He was
pretty good though. That's a huge underdog.
No, but once I see the fight, I'm like, damn, Carlos told me. Like, Carlos, he was so adamant. He was like, bro, I'm telling you, he's going to knock this dude out. He goes, And he goes, as long as he's in shape, he goes, I'm not in his training camp. I can't tell you, but he goes, that kid has got talent. So
He's good.
The only thing I hate, he hasn't even fought yet, man. He needs to get it together,
He
man.
needs to
Yeah,
stay more
man.
active. But man,
my prediction, this isn't like me from a source. This is my prediction. He's going to be fighting Frank Martin on that Errol Spence undercard
that's
in
a tough
June.
fight. That's a
in
tough
June.
fight.
Yeah,
Frank
yeah.
Martin is solid.
Frank Martin is definitely
I get
good.
these vibes from Edwin, and I'm like you said, I'm not saying this from a source, and I'm just saying my opinion. I get the vibes from Edwin De Los Santos that he's like one of those guys that needs to be either mentally right or he's not right at all. Like I feel like he'd be doing things on the side, and you gotta be mentally.
he
100.
comes across as like definitely like a
Jodedor, un jodedor.
yeah,
Un
you know?
tigre, un tigre.
Yeah, like un tigre, yeah, and but you know, and that could that honestly that sometimes that's good because then
Yeah.
you see how he performs in the ring, like
Saucy with it.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I just wish that he was. And again, we're not going by sources. I'm going by performance that he had in that loss. That guy Forster is not better than him. He just got tired and he couldn't perform. I hope he learned his lesson. I mean, to be fair, his next 2 fights have been against undefeated fighters.
And stopped them both.
Stopped one in the second and one in the third.
And last minute fights.
Yeah, well, one
It was
was
a-
last minute, but
Well,
yeah,
Ryo, he was like a last minute replacement.
No, but the other one wasn't. But my point is like, all right, you got 2 knockouts and we're impressed. I'm predicting he's gonna be fighting Frank Martin next on the Spence undercard. That's my prediction. And if he gets that win, he'll be making a statement. But that's a tough fight.
That is
that's
a tough fight.
fight.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing.
No,
That's
no,
a
no,
tough
no. That's a
fight.
tough fight.
I mean, Frank Martin's a tough fight for anybody.
For sure.
Anybody at 135, anybody.
100%.
Let's talk about one of your guys, Alberto Puello.
Puello.
Rolly.
You're about to cook that man. About to cook Pearl.
What I tell you on the way over here, I got Alberto outboxing him every
Oh.
round.
But Rolly can come.
Yeah, he can
and-
crack.
And nice out.
He can crack. But man, skills pay the bills,
Skills
man.
pay the bills.
And man, Rolly, man, that's all he got. Pop. That's all he got. That aggression and.
Did you see that sparring video of him getting dropped?
Yeah, he got dropped hard, man.
That's another thing.
No.
His chin is.
No,
Right
yo,
now, vulnerable.
He got knocked out right in when that fight was in May against Tank.
Tank.
And then that fight like that. I know it was a sparring match, but if that was a fight, the ref would have stopped that fight.
100%.
Yo, he was hurt
You don't
bad.
see it? Yeah, his dad had to get him up.
So you got knocked out in May, and then you get knocked out again, and then now you're gonna have to go through a training camp where you're gonna keep getting punched in the head. I got my man, Puello cooking him. I don't think he has the power to knock him out. I just think he outboxes him and outclasses him.
It's not even the power, though. It's the precision. And especially if his chin right now is vulnerable, he's injured, he's not 100%. He can get hurt and he can get stopped.
We'll see.
I don't think he
People-
stops him, but I think he will beat every single
Yeah, I think he's gonna
round.
outclass him. I think he's gonna
Yeah,
show
yeah.
he's levels above.
Right.
People don't give credit to Rolly though, man. He
Yeah.
was beating Tank.
Yeah, he was. He
was beating Tank.
If that was a 6-round fight, yeah. But
but the thing is, it's
but
not
that
a
was Tank's
6-round
game
fight.
right.
Yeah.
And that was Tank's game plan. You can tell. You can tell from the rip that was his game
No,
plan.
and honestly, that's this is why I'm picking Spence over Bud. A lot of time, Bud's fights are like that, where the first 6 rounds you're like, damn, I don't know what's going on, and then he starts
picks
turning
it
up. Same thing with Canelo too. Canelo sometimes he's kind of slow starter, but he's figuring you out. Some dudes are playing high level chess, and that's exactly what Tank was doing. Now, Hector Luis Garcia, I felt he was giving a Tank a little bit of more problems than Rolly did. Because
Technically. 100%.
I felt like even when Tank was like, all right, I'm gonna open up, he would throw little rolls and counters and stuff like that. He was hitting them to the body consistently. But yeah, no, Tank, once he figures you out, he trusts his power, and we saw that in that fight as well. So
Same thing with Leo Santa Cruz. It was like, figure him out. Boom. Slip that hand.
with Leo Santa Cruz, I think he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna just walk this guy
Yeah, he was
down.
walking him down the whole.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's like, I'm gonna get hit, but this guy don't punch like that.
Yeah, but you can tell he was trying to slip that right hand. He was waiting for that right hand.
he threw it 3 times in a row.
Exactly. He was
Kinda,
waiting for
man. He
that
just
right
went,
hand. Boom.
That was nasty,
Yeah.
nasty work.
So, Edwin De Los Santos, I want to go back. I want to touch up on that really quickly.
yeah.
How do you see that fight going? We didn't really speak about it.
Oh.
Him and Frank Martin, if it happens.
I think Frank Martin would properly be the
favorite.
The favorite. I'm not saying probably. I'm saying properly. Like
Yeah.
that's the correct way
Right.
a gambler should bet. Like the correct way Vegas should have it. But if Frank Martin's chin ain't like is suspect, I don't know.
We don't know.
We
don't know.
None of us know.
If it's suspect,
Yeah, he can get stopped.
Edwin could put him to sleep. Like, and that goes for anybody. If your chin is suspect, Edwin could put you to sleep. But again, you can't go into a fight knowing that. Like, there was a guy named Randall Bailey. Yo, this guy can crack. But if you don't have the tools to land those punches, you don't have the conditioning to last the full 12 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever the fight is going to be. You can't always depend on that. It's called boxing, not power punching. So again, I definitely think he has a shot in the fight.
Oh, yeah.
But I think Frank Martin would be the favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fight that happened before our guy, or your guy too, obviously, Michelle Ali versus Frank Martin? What do you think happened in that fight?
Yeah, Michelle didn't look good, man, and things came out afterwards with the
drug test.
The drug test, so it looked like he was having trouble making weight. I didn't like how he looked at the weigh-in, anyways.
I thought he looked good though. To be honest, I thought he looked good.
He
looked dry.
He looked dry, and he looked like
discolored,
whiter than like lighter than he usually.
Pale. You were there live, right? You were pale. You were there live.
I was there live, and yeah, and I was like, damn. I was like, I don't know. He looks a little weight drained. And then I went to Hector Garcia's gym, and me and him were talking about it, and he was like, yo, did he look a little dry to you? I was like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the only.
I thought I was tripping.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought I was tripping, but I was like, again, and I know people gonna be like, oh, he making excuses and stuff like that, but that's fine. That's just my opinion, and I literally said it to Hector Garcia before the fight, and he thought the same thing. But I was still like, who knows? You rehydrate. There's people that drink a gallon of water afterwards, and then they're blowing up. Like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
Canelo at 54 was doing the same thing.
Yeah, so I was like, I don't know the situation, so maybe he'll blow up and he's good. But he fought exactly how he looked. But full credit to Frank Martin. Frank Martin did a lot of good feet. Like, his feet in that fight were real good, jumping in and out and stuff like that. So I definitely want to give Frank his credit. But if you're asking me why the fight was so lopsided, I think that's what the answer is.
It's crazy you was talking about the feet, because we had an episode where I said it before the fight happened that I had seen previous fights of Michelle fought two southpaws, and his foot placement was terrible. He won the fight off of pure talent and size, but every time he would throw the right hand, he would lunge in because his foot wasn't on the outside, and same shit happened with Frank Martin. He didn't make those adjustments. I don't pin that on Michelle. I pinned it on his team or whatever. I'm not saying his coach didn't work on that. I'm just saying that those are little things that I saw in previous fights that came out on this fight as well.
To me, it just seemed like Michelle couldn't get off. Like, he just kept relying on the jab. Every now and then he'll throw a right hand, but it was just constant jabs. He barely threw any hooks, barely threw any uppercuts, barely went to the body. I felt like he just couldn't get off, and he couldn't really do what he usually is doing, and showed itself the day of the fight.
What happened after the fight, though? I know he went to the hospital because he was dehydrated. That's what happened?
Or after the fight.
Or 3 days before the fight, something was happening and he went to the hospital, right? That's how it was, more or less?
I can't talk about that, but I could talk about after the fight. He went to he came back to Miami because he lives here in Miami, and he received like a box with like shirts and hats and candies from like a sponsor, and he ate the candy, and then I don't know where he started feeling bad. He went to the hospital, and they were like, "Yo, like."
What the fuck did you eat?
Yeah, he showed his father showed what he ate, and it was an edible. He didn't know. He just thought it was candy. He was like, I just came from a training camp. I could eat unhealthy stuff. So, and then when he got there, they were like, he's also dehydrated, so he had to get IVs and stuff like that. But he's good now. He's good.
Well, everything happening, all that adversity that he went through at 135. Do you think he should still stay at 135 or move up to 140?
When I speak to him, he tells me he wants to stay at 135. So I spoke to him. I actually spoke to him yesterday. I was on the phone with him yesterday. He wants to stay at 135. His next fight. Oh no, I'm lying. I spoke to him yesterday on the phone, and today we were on Instagram Live together. So I spoke to him technically today. But he wants to stay at 135. He claims that his next fight will be somewhere like a 138, 137. But the plan is still to stay at 135.
Yeah, when he came here, he was talking highly about the fact that he wanted to be a world champion at 135.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know what it is about the division that he wants to become champion at that division, but He seems very determined to
He's
do that.
really dedicated.
The
His
man,
story
Oh, yeah.
to sleep in the gym, come
There's
from the yard.
no doubts about that. That guy is as dedicated as it comes. Even Luis Ortiz says it, man. This guy is the most dedicated.
And
guy
very
in the
humble
gym.
too. Humble,
very
nice,
nice.
well-spoken.
Christian, nah, definitely a good kid. Definitely a good kid, and he's gonna become champion. There's no doubt about it.
I told him when he gets the belts, he got to come back. So ya tú sabes, Ali, te estamos esperando. Te estamos esperando.
Shout out to my man Rivera, man. Shout out to Michelle.
He's a very good fighter, though.
Yeah,
he's a
very good,
very good
good.
fighter.
I got no doubt that he's gonna bounce back. I got no doubt. If it was another fight, I'll be like, I don't know. Now, with Michelle, I have no doubt about it.
Since we're talking about, I'm sorry
Go
for
on.
interrupting you, but since we're talking about 135, rate me like the top 3, top 5 135 pounders in your opinion. I mean, there's a lot of talent in that weight class, which is why Michelle Rivera loves the weight class.
Top of my head, you kind of put me on the spot there. One quick thing before I do that. Michelle Rivera is actually going to be training with Jermaine Ortiz's trainer. He's going to be going out to Massachusetts, and he's no longer going to be training with Herman Concedo.
Okay.
Caicedo. My bad. Caicedo. He would no longer be training with that team. He's going to be training with Jermaine Ortiz. His name slips my mind right now, but that's the move there.
Okay.
As far as top 5 lightweights, I'll give it to you, but I won't give it to you in order.
That's okay. Yeah.
So I'll go Tank for sure. Haney, Loma, Frank Martin.
Shakur?
Putting on the spot.
Nah, Shakur hasn't had a fight at 135. Who I'm gonna give that last spot to? I'll give it to William Zepeda. I'll throw a wild card in there.
Damn, okay.
Wild card it is.
Wild card, yeah. Because I don't want to give Pitbull Cruz that no,
Nah.
he doesn't deserve it.
Nah.
Yo, bro,
Nah.
you fighting featherweights and shit like that, bro.
And you ducking.
Yo.
let's call it how it is, ducking.
Look, he got a contract offer for Ryan Garcia, turned that down. He got a contract offer for Shakur Stevenson, turned that down. De Los Santos was trying to get him in the ring, and they both ranked in the WBC, turned that fight down. And now that Mike Coppinger reported that you're going to be fighting Giovanni Cabrera. Like, yo, my man, like, what are you doing, bro? Yo, you hype over decision loss to Tank. Like, you hype off that? Like, get out of here, bro.
He ducked Michelle Rivera.
Oh, also, Michelle. I forgot about Michelle.
And he ducked Chris Colbert as well.
I have no source on that, but
Yeah,
I'll take your word for it.
He ducked both of them guys.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take it. Okay, listen,
He ducks. He ducks.
Yeah, man.
He needs a guy that's going to stand in front of him with no chin. Because if any good boxer with a good stick, he's going to box circles around him.
Yeah, he's the second worst duck in boxing. The first is Jaime Munguia. That dude is the worst. That's the biggest duck in boxing. Yo, on my YouTube channel, I have a duck that's on my table. And it's off camera, but anytime I bring up Jaime Munguia or Jaime Munguia's name gets brought up, I pick up the duck and I go, yo, that dude is the biggest duck in boxing. Like, yeah, we could get into that if you want, but
We're gonna get back to that. But I wanna backtrack a little bit with Ali's changing trainers. Do you think that was because of the fight? What happened with the fight, or that's been on his mind for a while? If you can talk about it.
Yeah, there's certain things I can't talk about, and I appreciate you guys respecting that. Michelle, once everything happens as far as announced how long the suspension is, he will be coming on my channel, Broadway Joel, for those who, in case you guys are wondering. He will be coming on my channel to discuss everything, the trainer change, the suspension, what happened, the fight itself. Does he want a rematch? Does he going to stay at 135? He will be giving me a full in-depth interview once that happens. But yeah, so I respectfully,
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, you have those answers.
It's his place to come out and speak on those things.
Yeah, interview that you had with him after the fight was tough to watch.
Yeah, man.
It was tough to watch.
It was tough to do. No,
How was it? Yeah, damn, that was pretty hard for you, man. Like, that was. I was about to cry because he came here. He was so special, so nice to us, and like to see him like that was like, damn. Like,
And he believes what he says.
yeah.
A lot of fighters talk a lot of shit and don't believe what they say. He believes what he says.
Yeah, so let me add context to that interview, and I'm glad you brought that up. I actually went to school for journalism.
Oh shit. Oh, so you know what's up. So
That's why you're so well spoken.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Welcome.
A lot of times these YouTubers, like other YouTubers, they think we the same. Like, oh, I'm just a content creator. Like, yo, bro, we different, So, like, we do different shit. That's why when you see my interviews, they're conducted a certain way. And one of the things you learn in journalism school is you got to ask the uncomfortable questions. you know, and sometimes you just have to sit in that uncomfortability because the story is more important than how you feel. So that's one of my biggest moments. So I'm glad you brought that up.
That was a beautiful interview.
Thank you. It was tough to do, man. It was tough to do because, you know, a lot of these dudes, they you know, they really got a lot of love for me. They appreciate what I do as far as covering Dominican boxing and all that. And to ask questions like...
It was raw and uncut, man.
You know, I asked the tough questions. The questions that, you know, if I was just a fanboy, that people like to make it seem like, oh, he's just PR for Dominican boxing. And it's like, you can say whatever you want about me and oh, yeah, this and that. But when it comes to my interviews... You can never say I ain't asked the tough questions. You can never say that. And I'll challenge you to pick any interview. I asked Elvis about his loss to Kenneth Sims. I asked Jason Rosario about, you know, partying and drinking and eating and stuff like that. I asked Kenny Porter, why did you stop that fight with Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford? These are questions that a lot of people don't want to ask because it's uncomfortable. But me being a journalist, I'm willing to sit in that uncomfortability for the sake of the story.
And that's what makes your channel good, bro.
Thank you.
That's why you're here, man.
You already know I had to come bless y'all with my presence, man. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, bro.
Wait, hold on. I want to go back to the Edgar Berlanga and Munguia, since, you know, Munguia, so, you know, what do you think about that fight?
Is that fight official?
Supposedly, that's the next thing. I don't know, but what talk to me. What's up?
I mean...
Because Berlanga's also kind of like
I know who wins that fight, though.
I don't know who wins that fight.
They're both...
The one thing... Look,
who you got?
I'm going to let him speak first because that was his question.
The thing is, right, so Berlanga can crack.
Oh, yeah.
That power is legit. And Munguia does get hit. And Munguia's a 60-pounder. He would be moving up to 68. So these are things we can't dismiss. But, you know, Munguia is like a pressure fighter. He is a tough guy. I remember his fight with Toriano Johnson. He was getting lit up with shots, and he just kept coming forward. So... You know, his chin seems very solid. I think I would favor Munguia, but I wouldn't be surprised if you know, Berlanga clipped him. Like he was losing a fight and just threw a wild haymaker and got him. Yeah. But I would pick Munguia.
100%.
Yeah, you too?
Yeah. Yeah, there's things about Berlanga that I don't like. I don't know. And I don't want to talk bad about him.
I got Berlanga, dog. Fuck it, dog.
He's still young. He's still young. He's still growing.
He's talented. I think he's talented, but he's not.
Like you said, his power is legit, though.
The power is legit. The power is legit.
You're born with that.
I know that. I know that from people in New York. So they're like, nah. He can crack. It's just.
Yeah, I know mutual people that know Berlanga as well. That's what I'm saying. I know he can crack. Yeah, he definitely has. Mm-hmm. But I think Munguia would win that fight. I didn't even know that shit was getting made.
Supposedly.
No, I heard that rumor. But
yeah, the rumor.
You saying it like supposedly, like who reported that?
I forgot. I saw that shit on Instagram.
Yeah, I don't think it's
come on, man.
It's probably yeah.
I don't think it's an official thing. It's just like we said, rumors that are going around. Man, you over here.
But him signing to Eddie Hearn and shit makes, you know, a lot of sense, you know. So
I know if he wanted to fight Munguia, he would have signed Golden Boy.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Exactly.
Well, let's see what happens. But what's up? Talk to me, man. What's up with the Dominican boxing right now? Why do you think they're moving up so quick now and not before? Like when you had Juan Guzman, because he was a fucking legend in his own, you know, time. Yeah, what do you think is the difference now?
But Dominican boxing has risen a lot.
For sure.
What's the difference?
So, again, getting back to me being a journalist. So, I'm being serious. You know, when I was interviewing these fighters, they kept mentioning the name Armando Hernandez. And a Cuban Armando Hernandez. So there was a tournament in the Dominican Republic where it was Cuba versus DR, and the Cuban team like pretty much, you know, did what the Cubans do in amateur boxing and pretty much dominated the event. I think only one Dominican won or something like that. And the Dominican government saw one of the coaches. His name is Armando Hernandez, a Cubano. He was like, "Would you like to coach our team?" And he was like, "All right, I'll coach the team, but I want to start with the junior Olympic team."
Okay.
And so he went. So he started training Elvis Rodriguez. He started training Hector Garcia Carlos Adames. Started training who else? I'm trying to think. Like who else like that's on TV that you guys would know?
Caballo.
But point is like he really raised the level of the amateur system, and then also the Dominican government itself just been investing more in Dominican boxing because they want medals. So after that, these junior Olympic teams, they started moving on to like the elite, the older team, and then they started going and winning Pan American Games. Like Hector Luis Garcia is a 3-time silver medalist in the Pan American Games. We have a guy named Leonel de los Santos, and I really want to talk about him. So please remember that name, Leonel de los Santos. Okay. I want to talk about him. He was a gold medal in the Central American Games, which is a big deal. Silver medalist in the Pan American Games, 2-time Olympian. And who else? Rohan Polanco, who signed to Top Rank. He was a silver medalist in the Pan American Games. So if you want to circle what changed for the better, Armando Hernandez going and training the Dominican Olympic team and the Dominican national teams and helping other trainers learn, from him, you know what I'm saying? And him and having a team of people work from his style is the biggest difference that's happening in Dominican boxing.
So the Cuban give him a little
for sure, man. I've never in my channel ever heard me talk bad about Cubans.
You
man.
better not, dog. Shit.
Nah, those are our brothers, man.
Well,
those are our brothers.
Well, we have not ever done the same about Dominicans.
For sure.
In fact, we've always said that the Dominican episodes that we have are some of the best.
Hay que traerme el mejor sazón, you know?
Our first biggest fighter was Michelle Ali. He's Dominican.
Michelle Rivera.
Yeah.
I like that Ali though, but I feel you. Rivera.
Michelle, the reincarnated Ali Rivera.
I really don't like that.
No?
I wish he just went with Michelle La Salsa Rivera.
You think he can bring it back though, or is he's already into
I think he could. I think he could. But from my interview, he told me it was PBC idea.
Yeah,
and he even told me, listen to this. I'll give you guys an exclusive.
Oh.
He even told me that PBC wanted him to change his legal name to Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he told us. He told us on our episode as well.
Oh, right. There you go. Because he had mentioned that on my channel. I was like, what?
Yeah, he said no.
Yeah, he said no. He was like, nah, I'm good. So he kept it with Michelle La Salsa Ali Rivera.
He did the right move, though. I mean...
of
trying
course.
to copy somebody else. No.
Yeah.
I mean, Ali is a great, but still.
No, for sure.
What do you think about Dominicans versus Dominicans? Like, for example, Michelle Rivera versus an Edwin de los Santos at 135.
You ever seen the clip where Canelo's like, no, I no fight Mexican, no. So I'm with Canelo, yo. Dominican no fight Dominican. No.
I'm gonna add to that, and I know why he asked that question. He asked you that question because two Cuban heavyweights did the same. They were early prospects. Obviously, one has to lose. So I'm gonna add to what you said. I agree. I don't think that the same nationalities should fight each other, especially when there isn't millions of Dominican fighters in the same weight class. But if one is champion and the other one is a number one contender, then yes, they can fight because they deserve it. But two prospects? No, bro. No. Cubans, Dominicans, it shouldn't happen.
The thing is that like Dominican boxing is on the rise. So just because other people ducking, we got to fight each other, take each other out. Like, nah, bro. Like, come on. Like, let's not us kill our own buzz. You know what I'm saying? Let's go against, because as much as people want to make it, boxing is tribal. If you Puerto Rican, you root for Puerto Ricans. If you black, you rooting for your black fighters. If you Dominican, you rooting for your Dominican fighters. It's tribal. It's a fact.
Facts.
That doesn't mean you don't root. I was just mentioning how much of a Bivol and a New Wave fan. I'm not Japanese and I'm not Russian, but for the most part, it's boxing is tribal. So for the fact that we're on the come up, we're a tribe that's trying to make our name in the sport. Puerto Ricans, although they're not as high as they used to be, they already got their name in boxing. Yeah. Mexicans, they already got their name in boxing. Dominicans, we don't got a name yet. So once we get our name, cool, whatever. Yeah, let them fight each other. But right now, we on the come up. Let us get there. If it's unification or again, like you said, I'm a champion. I'm going to give a shot to him instead of giving it. All right, if you want to do it that way, I understand it. But I'm not a fan of it. No.
Yeah, I mean, same thing with Cubans. Yeah, Cubans have a bunch of gold medals. But in the professionalism, Cubans are also, like you said, we got to work our way up. I mean, we shouldn't be fighting each other when we're prospects. 6-0, 5-0. That shouldn't be happening. That's not the smart way to go about it.
For sure.
Out of the Dominicans, who do you think stamps it?
Not past. He means
right now. Yeah. Who's gonna stamp it right now?
Currently, you asking me who's the most talented?
Who do you believe
is gonna be the champion, the next megastar of DR?
Well, I don't think
The face of DR.
I'll answer it this way. I'll answer that question this way. I'll give you a real answer. I'll answer it this way. Every time I ask a Dominican who's the best Dominican, they all say Carlos Adames. Every single one of them. There hasn't been one that says somebody else. So Bob Santos, who trains Puello, he trains Hector, he trains Victor Santillán, he trains Carlos Adames, he trains Eric Mini Pac-Man Rosa. He trains 5 Dominicans. He told me Carlos Adames. So at some point, you got to listen to what the people are telling you. So I'm going to go Carlos Adames.
Yeah, and I agree with you, bro.
Yeah, that dude got dynamite. That dude got dynamite in those hands.
Yeah, but it's not just dynamite like a Rolly Romero. It's like literally dynamite and the skills to back it up.
And he switches southpaw and orthodox.
Yeah.
He's very talented.
Switch hitter, but yeah, bro, I love that, man. I love that guy. His loss was very, very shocking to me. Yeah, with Patrick.
Yeah, the thing is, like, when people bring up the loss, like, yo, you lost to this guy, it's like, yo, you got to see how the fight played out. Yo, he was dominating. Like, it got to the point where I thought the ref should have stopped the fight the first 6 rounds. Then he gets dropped, and then he gassed out. And then he lost. All right, did he lose because Teixeira's more talented, or did he lose because he gassed out? He lost because he gassed out. And yes, the loss still counts, and of course, that's a blemish on his record, but we shouldn't hold that too much.
Oh no! I didn't mention it.
And I know you. I know you weren't.
I was saying it was shocking. Like, I was shocked.
No, I know you weren't, but
Others.
I get that. I get that all the time when I talk about how talented Carlos is, and I'm like, yo, bro, but you got to look how he lost. Whatever, he lost, and I agree, and it deserves to be mentioned. But for you to dismiss what he can potentially do is you ignoring the facts. That let me know you just looking up box rec and you looking at red, and you didn't even see the fight.
Or how he came back from that loss.
Yeah, yo.
Looking dominant.
The last dude Zayas fought, Xander Zayas. Adames folded that dude like a lawn chair. Like, you see that knocked out. He just bloop, got up all wobbly and flamingo-legged, and the ref had to stop it. So, like, you look at what Montiel did with Charlo, and then you look at what Adames did with Charlo. Adames did with Montiel.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, like, at some point you got to look at common opponents and you got to look what he doing and look how he's looked since.
Hey, that's my guy, Xander Zayas.
Hey, man.
That's my dog.
Shout out to him, but I'm just speaking the facts.
Somebody that they don't talk about a lot. He's pretty good. I've seen him fighting. I think that was a close fight with Rolly. Jackson Martinez.
Marinez,
my bad.
That was not a close fight, by the way. He won that easy.
It was a good fight, though. On his behalf. He dominated.
He won that.
He did really good.
They robbed him. Yo, Rolly's the only dude who fails forward. He loses that fight, right? So he robbed him because he really lost that fight.
Yeah, he did.
Then he fights Yigit in a fight where it was a dirty, like, he probably should have got disqualified for the way he's slamming him and throwing elbows and headbutts and all that.
He's a dirty fighter.
And then gets knocked out by Tank. And then his first fight at 140, he gets a shot at that. Yo, does he have nudes on somebody? Like, how is he getting all these opportunities?
He got Mayweather in his corner, man.
The thing is, a lot of people might disagree.
He's not a Mayweather Promotions fighter.
Not anymore?
Nope.
Oh, shoot.
His social media is popping, though, man. So he's kind of like, I know people are going to be like, oh, but why? But he has the numbers. He has a following. That might play a role. Come fight night tickets being bought, you know.
But that's not what Joel is saying. That has nothing to do with boxing.
I know, but
he has like 200 Instagram 200,000. It's not like he's
but he gets in a lot of interaction.
He's got like 400,000 followers, and he has a lot of views.
No, but my point is he doesn't have an amount where it's like, damn, like,
you
know, he doesn't even
have Tank or Ryan Garcia.
Not even 1 million. Like, to me, 1 million followers is, and I'm talking about like where you could look at it and be like, nah, he's a
next
star.
level.
Yeah. He's not even at 1 million. You said you said 400, so he's not even halfway there. So he's not that big of a star. For him to be getting, opportunities the way he's doing.
So what do you think it is? What your opinion? What do you think your opinion?
I don't know. He got nudes on somebody. Like, yo, if I don't get those shots, I'm leaking your nudes.
I think that he's exciting to watch because of the
way he speaks
fights.
and the way he talks. He makes a clown of himself.
You're not a fan?
But what fight was exciting? Was the Jackson Marinez fight an exciting fight? Was the Yigit fight an exciting fight?
It was. The way he walks forward, he takes shots, and he's an exciting guy. Well, you got Me, I like the pure science of boxing. Yeah. But for the common guy watching TV, yeah, he might come off as exciting. He's going to walk you down. He talks a lot of shit. He throws those big, ugly haymakers. So, yeah, to the person that doesn't know about boxing, yeah, he might be exciting to them.
Well, I know boxing, so
I hear you.
He's not exciting.
I hear you. I'd rather watch a Carlos Adames.
For sure.
If we want to talk about people that can crack, I'd rather watch Triple G. I don't want to watch Rolly. But he's part Cuban, so I gotta back him up.
No wonder you capping for him.
No, I haven't capped.
Is he 100% Cuban though?
I told you I brought up.
He's half.
Where's the other half from?
Black, American. His father Cuban and his mother is Black American.
Oh damn, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nah, he don't got the skills, but he started boxing late, man.
Hey, that don't mean you get all these opportunities just because you started late. That. Like, I don't know.
Listen,
man.
Before we wrap this up, you wanted me to remind you about Leonel de los Santos.
Yes. Leonel de los Santos, right? This is one of the most accomplished amateur boxers in Dominican boxing history. He was gold medal in the Central American Games, which is a big deal. Silver medalist in the Pan American Games. 2-time Olympian. He went to the World Championship Games. Didn't medal in those tournaments, but just to qualify for those tournaments is an accomplishment. He won I think it's called the Bacardi tournament in Cuba, which when you win that in the amateurs, that's a big deal. Because Cubans, he had to beat 2 Cubans to win gold in that Olympics, in that tournament. So he went through the ringer. This guy is super duper talented. He's currently 8-0, and he's one of those fighters that right now he's never fought on TV. This is the first time y'all probably even heard that name.
Yeah, it is.
If ever he gets a fight last minute, and
bet on it.
Bet on it.
The house.
He beat bet the house. He beat Shushu in the amateurs.
Shushu's special.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
I gotta watch that fight.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
Google it. Easy. Bruce Carrington, Leonel de los Santos. You tell me who won that fight. And they put that fight split decision, and he dominated that fight.
But it was a win for Leonel.
Yes, in the Pan American Games.
Okay.
And then top rank, they have a lightweight named Kurt Walker, Irish guy. He's 5-0 that they trying to promote. He's fighting over there in the UK.
Overseas.
Leonel knocked him out in the World Championship Games. It was knockout of the tournament. It went knockout of the tournament.
Is he signed by somebody?
He has a manager, but not a promoter.
Okay.
But I just wanted to make sure he gets his love because he's older. He's like 28, and that's relative to boxing, older. So he only has 8 fights. But I feel like he's not getting the attention that everybody in the country, like when you talk to people who know Dominican boxing, they'll let you know, like, yo, nah, this dude is nice, but he just, for whatever reason, he's not quite in position. But once he gets his position, it's going to be hard to take that away from him. He fights at 130. He's tall. He's like 5'9" or something like that. He's like tall for the division, and he's very rangy, has good movement, good power. I guarantee you, again, if you ever they just called this random Dominican in for last minute, bet the house on him.
Okay. Now y'all know Leonel de los Santos.
Give me your favorite Cuban fighter right now, active.
Yeah, before we wrap this up, give us your favorite Cuban fighter right now.
Right now, Robeisy Ramirez, man. I love Robeisy. I was at his fight with Abraham Nova.
Clean knockout.
Starched him.
Yo, bro, I was there, man. I was like, I was
Abraham is half Dominican, right?
Yeah,
half Dominican, half PR.
Yes. But yeah, I was there, and just how shifty he was moving in and out, and yo, he looks so much smaller than Nova. Like, I was there live.
He is.
He is, yeah. He's a small dude.
I'm like, damn, like, how they in the same weight class? He's jumping in and out, boom, 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 putting his hands down. And it's not so much that he's fast, it's more that he's quick. It's more like, pew, 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 pew. Like, his footwork. His footwork. It like, I was like, damn, like, he reminded me a lot of Lomachenko. And then, not only did he have a great footwork performance, he was winning the fight, and then he wins the fight on a one-punch knockout. Bro, I'm a big Ramirez fan. Robeisy's my guy, man. I love him at 126, man.
Awesome, bro.
David Moreau, too.
David Morrell. Actually,
got a picture of him.
I was just about to tell you. What do you think about my guy David Morrell?
Yo, David Morrell.
Killer.
First of all, I took. Yes, you saw. I took a picture with him. Now I'm a big fan. I met him in Vegas, right? So I went. I see him. I'm like, oh, let me go get a picture. I was talking with him, and I told him, I was like, yo, like, man, your last performance was just absolutely spectacular. And he's like, oh, thank you. He shook my hand. Yo, my hand is just now recovering. Yo, he squeezed my hand like he was really happy. I was like, damn, his hand grip is strong, so I know he can crack. Then we took the picture, whatever, but nah, man, I think he's really good. I'm glad they fast-tracking him because I think he's that talented.
They're moving him.
They're moving him right, yeah.
Yeah, they're moving him right.
Yeah, I'm hearing if Benavidez wins, the next fight after that is going to be Morrell. Benavidez Morrell. That's what I'm hearing.
Benavidez is a tough fight for anybody. Morrell's young. Morrell, I believe, is 24.
Yeah, we never even talked about that fight. Who you think will win?
We spoke about it, but we never set a prediction. I have my prediction, but I want to hear yours.
All right, that's fine.
You want mine? No,
that's fine. Well, however you want to do it, bro. It's your show. It's your show.
You, bro.
All right. So listen, I think it's a 50-50 fight. I think either fighter could win. I think it's a close fight. I don't think even if you disagree with me, I'm not gonna be like, damn, that's a bad pick. I'm gonna just go, okay, that's fine. I'm picking Plant, man. I'm picking Plant. And I think since it's a 50-50 fight, the differences are in the details. So like I felt like at the press conference, David Benavidez was very emotional, taking this very serious. And that lets me know either Caleb Plant is in his head or he's too excited for the fight. And that could be like, oh, no, that's a good thing. But that could also work against you. You could either work too hard in the gym or you could get over-aggressive in the fight and that may work against you. But that little tidbit is not enough for me to pick Benavidez. Another little tidbit, again, when it's a 50-50 fight, little things like this matter. They're fighting in a ring that's 22 by 22, not 20 by 20. Caleb Plant strategically got that advantage added to the clause in the contract. I honestly think those two little things being the difference is what makes the difference in the fight. Now, if Plant can't hold up conditioning-wise, I think he gets stopped. I think the proper prediction for this is either Plant decision or Benavidez knockout 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, like late. I think that's how the fight ends. But you asking me who I think is going to win, I think Plant.
We think the same way about it. I personally think Benavidez will pull through, but I want Plant to win.
Yeah?
I'm a Plant fan.
My heart was with Plant, but my mind is
Benavidez.
Why are you such a big Plant fan?
You don't like Plant? You don't like the way he carries himself as a champion, as a man, the way he speaks, the way he... For example, you spoke about Benavidez acting childish or coming off of...
I ain't say childish.
Well, I'm saying a lot of the words he said on that press conference were childish. You pussy-ass this, pussy-ass that. That's childish. I, like you said, overexcited maybe, right?
Mm-hmm,
but the way that Plant conducts himself and carries himself, I like it. I like the way he fights.
And his story too, man, with his daughter, his young daughter.
And a lot of people were saying he ain't got no pop and put the real in a body bag.
And
so,
I was at that fight as well.
So I'm a Caleb Plant fan.
Yeah, I'm not a Caleb Plant fan or like hater. It just I feel like no.
You're neutral.
I'm neutral on him, but I just feel like a lot of times he comes across as like grumpy. And I remember
serious.
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview with him where he's like totally disrespecting the journalist. I'm like, damn, like
I didn't see that.
Like it was right after he got smacked by Canelo. So the journalist asked him, like, oh, Canelo said you talked about his mother. He was like, yo, what? He was like, well, do you know where my mom is? And he was like, no. And like, yeah, your mom is dead. And he was like, so why the fuck would you ask me that?
Right.
Like, my man, like, as a journalist, yo, bro, some dude telling me you said something about his mother, and I'm asking you, is it true? And you telling me that, like, that's your response? Like, I ain't like that. And it could be that he just got smacked and he's in a bad mood, but I've seen him just act like real grumpy, kind of like in a bad mood always. So, again, I'm from Brooklyn. I'm used to rude people. Like, that's not, I really don't care, but That's so when you asking me how he carries himself, I kind of always see him like kind of like in a bad mood. I never see him like cheerful.
No, he's not. He's a serious guy, but I just like the way he's professional about his fights
everybody has their
I'm not saying he's my favorite boxer.
No, I know. Who is your favorite? Bud?
You don't like him, so why are you talking about him? That is my favorite. No, that's my favorite boxer. My favorite boxer.
Yeah. What do you? Me? I mean, you
know.
Bivol? Bivol's not my favorite. I mean, it's honestly it's hard because I got personal relationship with these guys. But I'm not even gonna give you a cop out answer. I'm gonna say Hector Luis Garcia. Me and him have the best relationship out of all the Dominicans. Like me and him, we're real tight.
Talented, very talented.
Very talented, man. Three-time silver medalist in the Pan American.
He didn't have to move up to take that fight with Tank.
Man.
But it was a good payday.
Yeah, he did. Get that money, man.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. It was a good payday.
Get that money, bro.
But belt-wise, he didn't have to do all that. He was at 130, champion at 130, moved up to 35, took a risk.
Yeah, he
didn't work out, but he's still champion.
And I don't feel like he embarrassed himself. He didn't look crazy.
What do you mean? He was landing on Tank.
Yeah,
he
looked like he belonged, and whatever happened at the end happened. But I'm gonna say, to answer your question, Hector's my favorite, but because I know him. But somebody I don't know, it's probably a Inoue. Somebody like who I don't have a relationship and is not Dominican, I'm gonna go Inoue. That's my favorite.
That's fair.
I got Canelo. You already know.
I like Canelo too. I'm a Canelo fan too.
What he's done, man, speaks volumes.
No, and damn, am I holding y'all up? Y'all trying to?
No, you're good. You're good. We'll wrap it up after this.
Yeah. One thing I don't like about about the criticism with Canelo is, people criticize his selection of opponents. Like you go on Twitter, you would have thought he's fighting bums. Why is he not fighting Charlo? Why is he not fighting Benavidez? Why is he not fighting Andrade? Why? And it's like. All right, why are these guys not fighting each other? You want Canelo to go through the ringer, but you don't people are super excited for this fight with Benavidez and Plant, but one of the dudes Canelo already knocked out. So Benavidez, the guy you say Canelo's ducking, his best win is gonna be somebody Canelo already knocked out. So what sense does that make?
Facts.
Like I feel like people are very overcritical. People want to criticize his catch weight and rehydration clauses, and some of it is legit. I'm not, especially the rehydration clause. I'm not a fan of that. But then when Tank does it, it's like, but Ryan's huge. He should do it. It is that, and it's like, bro, like if you're gonna criticize one guy, criticize another. You know what I'm saying? And I think Canelo gets a lot of unfair criticism, and I guess when you at the top, you're gonna get that criticism. But it's when you look at his contemporaries in and around his weight class, they don't get that same energy, and it's not cool, bro.
That's facts, bro.
Yeah, man.
I agree. I hate the rehydration clause.
Yeah, me too. I hate it. But we want to talk about that or nah. You know what? You guys
we're wrapping this up. We're wrapping this up. But real quick. Nah. Let's talk about really quick. Tank and Ryan Garcia. Who you got? Why? And the rehydration clause.
I got Tank because of the rehydration clause. So as far as I can remember, there's never been a catch weight and a rehydration clause in a fight. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong. I'm not opposed to, being proven wrong. In my lifetime of watching boxing, I've never heard of a rehydration clause and a catch weight. And he's doing both of them. He's draining this guy. And all you got is a left hook. That's all you got. Or you leave your chin in the air. You got no boxing IQ. You flat-footed. You don't know how to go side to side. But sign right here where it says, if you beat me, there's a rematch. But if I beat you, there's no rematch. And that you have to come down to 136. And you also from 136 can only go to 146. But all you got is a left hook. You leave your chin in the air. You got no boxing IQ, and you flat-footed. But sign right here.
So I'm gonna add to that.
Whoa.
I'm gonna add to that. That whole shit is some bullshit, but I still have Tank winning. With that, without it, I still think Tank wins. However, I'm not counting Ryan Garcia
at 140, no rehydration clause. Give me Ryan Garcia.
You got Ryan?
I got Ryan.
Let's wrap this up. But who you got?
All right, you already know who I'm gonna ride with Garcia.
Yeah, I got Tank though, right? All these stipulations, I got Tank. Tank by knockout.
I mean, Tank is a little man.
Probably 5th or 6th.
Look, Tank fought Barrios at 140. There was no problem.
No rehydration clause, no catch weight.
But why would Ryan Garcia? So that tells me something. That's why
he worried about that left hook.
He's worried about something.
He's saying, "Oh, he got that left hook, man. That shit's in his brain."
And he didn't intimidate him. Like when he was put,
he was right there in his face. I'm here, bro. Like, what's up?
First of all, that was some punk ass shit by Tank. First of all, somebody else like a Canelo would have slapped the shit out of him. Just for
Canelo
that.
don't play that.
He don't play that shit. So Ryan should have done something about it. But he played it cool and didn't let it get to his head.
Ryan, with his composure, I think actually threw off Tank. I think if he would have fought Tank there, and that would have been good for like the views.
Promo.
But I think Tank would have been like, all right, he think he's tough, I'm tough. I think it was more like, I'm going to scare him. Damn, he wasn't scared.
He didn't do shit.
So he's kind of like confused. I think Ryan played it perfectly, but again, those weight stipulations are.
Well, word to word, he was schooling Tank.
Oh, he was like,
he's
like,
him.
you got heels on. He goes, yeah, and you had a purse on yesterday. Shut up.
Yeah.
I was like,
he was clowning him.
I think my prediction is Tank is leaning in and Garcia catches him with a beautiful left hook and lights her out.
We'll see. If it happens like that, let's clip that.
Of course.
And we'll put that on IG.
Course.
I mean, to be honest, if he does get knocked out, it's going to be the left hook. But
you never know. He has a nice right hand, too.
Nah.
It's underrated.
Left hook, bro.
He's powerful, though. He got power in both hands.
I think he dropped to go with that right hand.
Yeah. I mean, but, bro.
It's to go.
It's the left hook, bro.
No, I agree.
But, hey, brother, thank you for coming, man. It means a lot talking boxing with you, bro.
Yeah, man.
I enjoyed it, man.
Thank you, Joel. Appreciate
for sure,
it.
man. Yo, everybody follow me on Instagram, Broadway Joel. Follow me on Twitter @_Broadway Joel. And most importantly, man, please, you don't got to be Dominican to subscribe to my channel. Subscribe to my channel, Broadway Joel. I interview mostly Dominican boxers. And if you're not Dominican, you still want to know about Michelle Rivera, right? You still want to know about Javier Fortuna and Jason Rosario and Carlos Adames and Elvis Rodriguez and Michelle Rivera and Mini Pac-Man and all these. You want to know just because, they may be fighting your favorite fighter. So you come to my channel, I do that. And then I also go live. I talk boxing, like just in general, the sport. So definitely go to my channel, man. Broadway Joel. Just type that in. It's the first one. Just hit that subscribe button. And for real, man, I got good content coming out.
And for your Dominican supporters watching this video, you gotta let them know that they gotta follow us too, dog. You feel me?
For sure, man.
They gotta let them know,
For sure, I gotta have. You know what? How about this? I'll have you guys on my podcast. It'll be like a, digital, like a Zoom,
like a live.
Let's do it.
I definitely feel like me being on y'all podcast. Y'all gotta come to my house.
Of course, man. Of course.
Get y'all on. We could talk some Cuban boxing. Y'all could put me on, school me. Maybe there's a guy that I don't know about that I should have an eye on. I definitely want to have y'all on my podcast.
Well, you know about this guy, but I'm gonna say his name anyway. Andy Cruz, man.
Oh, he's in DR right now.
Yeah. He's a beast. He's a beast. He's a beast.
He's eating that mango and everything.
He's beaten Elvis Rodriguez multiple times in the amateurs. Keyshawn Davis multiple times in the amateurs.
4 times.
Shakur Stevenson?
He beat Shakur?
I think so once, right?
No, I don't think so.
Wasn't it?
I don't think so.
No, that was Robesi.
Oh, Robesi, yeah.
He beat Hector Luis Garcia.
He was crying.
He beat Hector Luis Garcia multiple times. I think he even beat Robesi. I could be wrong on that. I think so. But
Robesi has a win over him too, though.
Yeah, no, but my point is he has wins over these guys. That guy is very talented.
Elite.
I'm curious as to who he ends up signing with. I like him a lot. I'm a big fan.
We're going to talk Dominican boxing once we go on your podcast, too.
Nah, for sure, man. Yo, thank you guys.
Thank you for coming, brother.
Thank you guys for the invite, man.
No problem, man. Right. Yo, if you enjoyed this episode, man, click that subscribe button.
And shout out to the Dominicans.
And stay tuned, man, for our next episode coming through. And go ahead and subscribe to Broadway Joel as well, man.
Show that flag, though. Show that flag.
Hey. All right, y'all, stay tuned.
DR, baby, we winning. We beating Puerto Rico tomorrow. Peace.